1-2-1-2. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, we want to bring forth to the stage a very special guest, the undisputed.
Nah, son, baby. And this is another episode.
Can't help but swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing.
And this is your host. Nah, son, baby. Here we go. Microphone check 1-2-1-2. This is your host, Not Son, baby. And this is another episode of Swingers After Dark. And I'm with the first person who I've come into the swinger lifestyle with. You know, we were in a relationship and we came in a game together back in 2011. You feel me? Back in 2011. And, you know, we met, like, it's funny because, you know, I was on MySpace and I asked one of the promoters, can I go to her parties? And she was like, nah, you got to bring a date. So I'm like, how the hell I'm going to find a date to go to a party with me? Because back in the day, if you were a single male, it was kind of hard to go to parties. You had to be vouched for. So she was like, you know, she's West Indian. And she was like, you should go to the West Indian Day Parade in Brooklyn. I'm like, I'm not going to ask random chicks to go with me to a fucking swing party at the West Indian Day Parade in Brooklyn. So I was like, damn, how I'm going to, what can I find a chick who's down to go to a swing party with me? So I went to this club called The Shadow. It used to be in Manhattan. It used to be in Manhattan, I believe between 7th and 8th on 28th Street. 28th Street. Between 7th and 8th Avenue in Manhattan. So, you know, to make a long situation short, I went to Club Shadow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with Shadow, this was a place where it wasn't a swing club. It wasn't a sex club. It was a regular nightclub, but they gave out free condoms by coach chat because they knew that people were going to get it in. And the reggae room, people were fucking.
I did.
At the Shadow. And what you said?
I did.
Yeah. So who did you fuck at the Shadow, at Club Shadow?
A friend of mine.
But me and the lady who I call my roadie, we did not fuck at the Shadow. We just, you know, she was sitting on the speakers, on a speaker, and I came and introduced myself, and then one thing led to another, and then the next day I hit her up, and I was like, she told me she was bisexual, so I was like, well, you bisexual? I hit the jackpot. We could go to a swing club together, and she said she was down. Then our first meet and greet was at Sylvia's in Harlem. It was, I forgot the name of the group, Chocolate Liquors.
Cherry Liquors.
Yeah, Chocolate Cherry Liquors. Yes, Chocolate Cherry Liquors. It was in Harlem. Then our first event was at the Mansion in South Jersey. You know, KD Ford. It was like the Mansion was like the popping spot back in them days. You know, everybody and mama used to go to the Mansion in South Jersey. You know, so it was KD Ford's, our first event. It was the Masquerade event. I believe it was March 5th. I believe it was March 5th, and it was the Masquerade all-white party. It was all-white party. And at that event, that's when shit changed. You feel me? And ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's one thing to go in a swing and swinging with your mate. Like a lot of dudes, they have these grandiose ideas. Oh, I'm going to get X amount of pussy, this, done, the third. But it's like, okay, man, while you fucking, what you think she's going to be doing? So the game changes. You have all these ideas about fucking X amount of women, having orgies, threesomes, menages, and the whole shebang. But what happens when you see your woman gets fucked, and not only she gets fucked, but also when she's enjoying it, she's enjoying another dick, a dick besides yours. Yeah. So let's fast forward. I remember my first mate, the first chick I ever smashed in a lifestyle. Her name.
Sapphire.
No. It was Bridget.
Oh no.
It was Bridget. I smacked. But let's go back to the meet and greet. I remember we'll go back to the meet and greet later because I noticed something too. But how did, first of all, do you remember that night?
Very well. Very well.
So coming from your people already know me. So from start to finish, how was it like? Like, how were you feeling? How did you feel to be at your first swing event?
I was nervous. I was excited. I was was very comfortable because of the environment the mansion makes you feel at home. And my date was very open-minded, so I thought at the time. So I didn't think I had anything to hold back, so I let it loose that night.
Well, it's not your fault. Ladies, when you go to a swing party, it's not your fault if you feel a certain way. You can't control how you feel when you play with somebody. You can't control emotions. You just have to let it out and hope that your mate is comfortable with expressing yourself when you with somebody else. If your mate is not comfortable with you playing with another man, or you're reacting in a way that they haven't seen before, they haven't reacted the way they reacted with you, then maybe the swing lifestyle is not for you. But the whole game changes when you see your woman get dick down, down, down. So do you remember how you linked up with the dude who you play with? Wait, first of all, let's back up. So you mixing and mingling. So how did you build up the courage to play?
So people back then we had social skills, right? Nowadays people just walk up to you, want to fuck, and that's it. But then it was, how you doing? Where you from? This guy was a military guy. I was married to a military guy. We kind of hit it off. He was aggressive. I like aggressive men. And he was very touchy-feely. I was already in the mood, a little drunk, and he asked, and I said yes. And before I knew it, he was doing the Dougie in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I told you in one of my early episodes, this dude, they wasn't having sex. They wasn't even fucking. They was being intimate. You know what I'm saying? Like the way they got it in, dude had her on the edge of the bed. He had one foot planted on the ground on the carpet and another foot planted on the bed. And he was going in and out, like in and up, and like he was digging for gold. So it was like he was doing a stinky leg. He had one leg on the floor and one leg on the bed. And he was between her legs, and he was getting in. His stroke game was on point.
Yes, it was.
His stroke game was on point. So how was the feeling? What was it like? Damn, this is something different compared to what I got before I stepped into the lifestyle.
This was outside of my lifestyle experience. This was a new experience to me, and I was just partaking of it. Like nothing else mattered at the time. I wasn't comparing it to anything. I wasn't holding back. It just, when two people meet and there's a chemistry, right? A sexual chemistry, you just tend to vibe off that chemistry, and we just vibed.
So there's a difference between swinger dick and vanilla dick. And ladies and gentlemen, vanilla means you're not in the lifestyle. When you're vanilla, that means you're not in the swing lifestyle. So there's a difference. Very
much so.
So what is the difference? It's like, is swinger guys, they more performance driven? Yes. And what is the difference?
So vanilla men I find them to be very selfish, right? They think the goal of sex is for their orgasm and their enjoyment. But lifestyle men know that they want to please as many women as possible and hold on to that nut as long as they can. So their goal is not to nut. Their goal is to make her nut. So if he had to stroke me, if he had to whine it, if he had to dip in it, if he had to do little different maneuvers to get me off, that's what he was going to do. So they work harder to please the females in a lifestyle than the vanilla man.
And going back to the meet and greet, I was flirting with everybody. Mm-hmm. And my roadie was like, "Oh, you funny." Like she felt the way because I was doing too much. I was young, and I was doing too much. Then at the mansion, I broke the ice. I started fucking. I bent her over and started fucking on the bed, and she was beside me. So I know she kind of felt the way a little bit because we didn't play first. But now I learned that you need to take care of home first.
Absolutely.
You need to take care of home first. So in hindsight, you're probably like, yo, this motherfucker, he's, like a kid in the candy store. I want to get my jollies off too. What are you thinking at?
Probably. I was the lust and the sexual energy builds up in you. And usually if your partner doesn't take care of it, whoever comes along, if he banging with the right hammer, he getting it.
I remember at our second party we went together. It was at the Pennsylvania Hotel. And I was fucking everything moving, and I saw you in a chair. You gave me like them evil eyes. I would never forget. I was fucking Bridget again, and then I looked to my right. You was like, you gave me like them evil eyes, like this motherfucker. You gave me.
We hadn't had sex since that night. Remember?
Yeah.
He shut down, y'all. He cut the dick off. He saw old boy doing his work, and he never touched me again.
But it was crazy. It was something new because it psychologically fucked me up because I never saw a chick who I was with get fucked by another man. So
how did you feel?
I I don't know. Well, we were new. Well, speaking for myself, I was new, so I really didn't know etiquette and code of conduct. I wasn't vetted. I didn't go into under somebody's wing. So
You just got thrown in.
yeah, I just got thrown in. Nobody didn't pull me to the side and say, take care of home first. And it's like when you're a boxer, you don't have that dude in the corner gonna tell you everybody got a plan until they get hit. When you in a fight, you plan on doing this, that, and the third to this other dude, but what happens? What happens when you get hit first, and what happens when shit doesn't go your way? So it was the same thing to me. It was like, okay, I'm gonna fuck all these chicks and XYZ, but what's gonna happen when I see her getting fucked and she's enjoying it? And that's why a lot of dudes, they cannot stomach the idea of their woman getting fucked, and that's why they put these boundaries onto their women and say you can't play with other dudes. Yes, and the only time we could play is when we in a threesome, female, male, female threesome. So that's why a lot of dudes, they cannot stomach that idea of their woman getting fucked. So from how did you learn from our relationship from there going forward? What did you learn rather?
I learned that even though a lot of men say, oh, I don't mind seeing you get done by other men, y'all do mind sometimes. I think that if you and that person aren't on the same page, on the same level, in so many ways, it can go awry if they do see you getting tore up by somebody else. Because you haven't established that bridge, that boundary yet. Like him and I were new. So it was like, hey, wait. Like he hadn't already established the fact that, yeah, what you do for me works. But this works for me too. You looked at it like, you ain't never make that noise when I hit it. And I didn't because you didn't hit it like that at that time. So I learned that taking care of home is important for the women and the men. I have to let my man and my partner know he is number one. Regardless of what you see, I'm coming home to you. Your sex is what I need, what I want. And not make a person feel like you have to compete with the next man, because it's not about competition. It's not even about dick size. It's about the connection you have with your partner and what you want to share with them.
But a lot of dudes miss that, and especially women too. But particularly dudes, like I was like, damn, I got to figure out how I'm going to fuck her like that. But it's kind of like, you can't be selfish. You know what I'm saying? You can't be selfish. And you got to realize that, like you said, at the end of the day, she's coming home with you and you got something that other dudes don't have. And that's the mental and emotional connection. Yeah, she's getting her shit off physically. But at the end of the day, she's coming home with you and she still need that emotional and mental connection and stability. When she goes to a swing party, it's like, okay, I'm getting fucked. Yeah, he may have a bigger dick size, and yeah, he may fuck me better than you. But at the end of the day, I'm coming home with you. And sex is more mental than physical anyway. You feel me?
It's more mental than physical. Back then, it was just physical. Back then, I was in my 30s and I could fuck 10 men that night. And I'm good. Now I can't mentally. If I'm not stimulated by a conversation or connection, I can't even get wet for these guys. So I go to parties and don't even play sometimes now. And I look for my significant other to take care of those needs. But back then, it was an empty fuck. It was like you would come, but it was meaningless. It had no substance to it. Now, when you hit that nut, it's like, okay, you worked for it. We done built something. And now this is our, how we benefit from it.
Do you think it's because you were a newbie and as you got into the lifestyle, you crave for something more?
Absolutely. I'm a sapiosexual, right? So you can't just walk up to me and go, ooh, me man, you woman, let's fuck. Because I'll look at you like, get the fuck out of my face. But if you come at me with something different, some poetry, something that makes me say, or something mind-blowing like, oh, like meeting a young poet or a young book author or novelist, it's like, what? You did what? Yeah, that catches my attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how I got them draws. I told her I wrote books.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I told her I write books. And yes, they got them panties. And yes, authors get ass too.
What?
Ow.
Yeah, it's true. Because that's what did it to me. Because I just looked at him, he was young. I was like, nah, this man ain't ready. He's young.
Yes, everybody raps, but not a lot of people could write a book. You know what I'm saying?
And self-publish.
Yes. Well, anybody can self-publish. I prefer independent because I have a staff. I have a small staff. So I prefer independent author. But it's going back to the first night. It was like a shock. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you get hit, and the first time you get hit, it's like, damn, you get shot, and then you shake it off, and then you get hit a few times, and you get used to it. But the first time I saw you get, smashed by another dude, it was like, damn. It kind of like it changed our relationship because I wasn't used to that, and it was like, the connection wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, something broke.
Yeah, something broke. Yeah, because no couple ever sat us down and told us, listen, this gonna happen, that gonna happen. And it was like, to me, it was like, damn, she like another dick better than mine. Or even though that probably wasn't the case, that's how I was thinking. And I'm thinking, damn, I lost her. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we weren't on the same page in a lot of ways. The fact that I was a little bit older, I was more mature. So I saw you smashing people and it didn't matter to me because it was just sex. But when you saw me smash, I don't know why it mattered because it was just sex.
Well, men, we territorial and we got egos. So, and plus I wasn't expecting that. You know what I'm saying? You was like, your reaction, I've never seen that before. And plus when I was growing up, I thought being a swinger was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking eyes wide shut. I was like, why people would do couple swap, wife swap? I thought it was weird, but I wasn't psychologically and emotionally prepared for that. You know what I'm saying?
I had a lot of growing to do. You also were one of the people who would kind of like, if you didn't get attention and I did, it was a problem.
Yeah, I remember we was at Fantasy Island and there was this couple, like they went straight to roadie. They went straight to my roadie.
I was a girl magnet back then.
Yeah, it was, well, still is now. It was like, it was this Puerto Rican dude and this black chick. They went straight to you. And then you was like, you gotta ask him. One thing I give you was like, you gotta ask my man. So they looked over and they was like, oh, well, you could join in. And then we did like a swap. But yeah, you were getting all the attention. I was like, am I like a fucking ghost here? Am I invisible here? Like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. But it's like, what did you learn from my relationship that you took for your future relationships?
Communication is everything. Like I said, we never really talked about the effects it would have on us or where we were anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we never sat down. No. We just went in full throttle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We just went in and said, yo, we in a lifestyle. So what would you change? What would you change? Hindsight 2020, what would you do different?
I think we would have talked about it. Not even setting boundaries, because at the time we didn't think there were boundaries because we were still new. We weren't established as a couple. We just were fucking, right? But we never thought of the ramifications of you having a good time or me having a good time or getting someone's phone number. Like we just thought we would go to the party, we'd smash different people and go on about our business, but we didn't anticipate enjoying it. You know, we didn't anticipate the oohs and the ahs and the fact that he could hit it different from you. I never even thought about it before I got there. I don't think you even thought about it either. Like, oh, it's just sex, but really it isn't, because different people have different chemistry, right? So the things he was doing, he tried hard to please me. You didn't necessarily try hard. You did what you did and got yours off. So there was a little difference with that.
And I was violating. Now I must admit, I was violating. I was, having one-on-ones with chicks, calling off for work, having chicks come over for me to smash. Okay. And then, you did the same and I would get mad, but you made a good point. You said, well, how are you able to have one-on-ones outside of the parties, but you want to get mad at me for having one-on-ones? So it's like the man in a relationship set the tone, or the couple, not even on some gender shit, the couple set the tone. They should set the tone and have they do's and don'ts. Well, if you're going to have a one-on-one, let me know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Don't do the shit behind my back. You know what I'm saying? Let me know, especially if I fuck with that person, if I don't like that person, if that person is bad energy.
Because nobody wants to be that person in a room. Everybody knows you fucking that person, and your person you're with is like, well, why is she looking at me like that? Not knowing she still has your dick on her breath. It's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like everyone wants to be 2 steps ahead of the rest, right? So if you are doing you and not telling the other person, now they're behind, and it's deceitful and it's hurtful and it's distressful. So
yeah, it's like we didn't have a foundation, because we will argue about stuff that could have been rectified, or we were arguing about stuff that could have been spoken about before we got into the lifestyle. But speaking for myself, I didn't know. I'm just thinking that we going in as a couple and we just fucking. You know what I'm saying?
We weren't a couple. We just were fucking, and we were only on a date so he could have someone to come to the party. That's another thing people get misconstrued. It's like, if you're my man, we have a boundary. I'm gonna go home with you. I'm gonna take care of you. But if I'm just there as your date, I'm doing me and you doing you. We don't owe each other nothing. And that's kind of the kind of night it was. You know what I mean? I don't have to hold back. And I hate to say it, but when I've been in relationships and I would go and play with people, I would hold back because I didn't want my partner to be like, well, damn, what's he doing? You know what I mean? But with you, I was just your date. So I just let it loose. So it's a little different.
So what conversation would you have with your mate to where you could be yourself, you could let it loose without your man feeling away?
Well, one thing, I take care of home first, right? So whoever I'm dealing with, we have a very healthy sex drive. We have very good communication, and he knows this man could do whatever he needs to me. I'm still going to come to you at the end of the night to finish us. So that's one of our rules. We usually end the night together sexually, because this way he usually doesn't come all night because he's trying to please as many women as possible. He may get 1 or 2 nuts, but he knows he can come home and finish with me. And the same here. Men will touch you and they'll do different things to you. You may have a nut, but an orgasm, a mind-blown orgasm with your mate, there's nothing that compares to it.
So have it ever been a point with you that you saw your man react in a way that he didn't react with you?
Absolutely.
He was with another woman, and you're like, damn.
Absolutely.
It's like with me, when I saw you get fucked by a dude, it was like, damn. It was like somebody hit me in my stomach. It was like a gut punch.
And you even said it. You said, whoa, he doing the stanky. Like, I heard all of this in the background, but I couldn't stop. I was in the middle of some good shit. I was like, I'll deal with him later. You really was like, wow, they still going at it.
Well, I was like in my 20s at the time, so I was like a young buck, so I wasn't used to that. I didn't have my battle scars that I have now.
Once again, you weren't interested in your partner's pleasure at the time. You were just interested in getting your nut and getting as many women as you could. Like even when we went to Hito, you'd be like, oh, I went through a whole box of condoms. Like you were about quantity. I've always been about what's the word?
Quality.
Quality. Thank you. I shouldn't drink before I get on the air. But yeah, so we always were on different pages.
Yeah, I was like a kid in the candy store, and it was like, and where I fucked up at is that I will always leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it was like I got ADD. And I was like all over the place. I was doing too much. I was fucking this. I was fucking that. I was fucking that.
Kid in the candy store, exactly like you said.
Yeah, and I will always, and you were always, and luckily, well, not luckily, it was a good thing that you already knew people on the resort that you could hang out with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You could chill with them. But with me, I was like, this not.
We played we didn't play at all after that party.
Well, so, I ate your pussy
one time on a cruise.
And ladies and gentlemen, this woman is the reason why I have a passport. Yes.
Black men travel. Please travel. See the world.
Yes. Well, we're going to touch on that later because I didn't have a passport. So I went to the post office and I got a passport to go to Canada. We went to Nova Scotia. Yes. New Brunswick. We went to Nova Scotia and we did a swap. Ladies and gentlemen, this swap, everybody came at the same time.
It was called Noontime Nookies or something like that. Every day at 12 o'clock, they met in our room and we would all play.
Yeah, people would come to our room to fuck.
We had a suite.
Yeah, we had a suite. We could see it at the ocean.
Yeah,
because we have money. Everybody had the cabin. Yeah. We had the ocean. We could see at the ocean.
Yes.
They had a cabin. So the first night, you wasn't feeling the dude. He was an older cat. You wasn't feeling him. The chick, she couldn't take dick, so that was a wash. You wasn't feeling the dude. I wasn't feeling the chick because she couldn't take dick. But the second play session, we had who?
The girl with the big pretty ass that you walked around and picked her up and was fucking.
Her name
she got married, I think, after that. I can't remember. But I forgot her fucking. Oh my god, this one.
I know her name starts with a T.
Tara.
Yeah, Tara. Her name starts with a T. Tara, y'all picked her up, fucked in the air.
She looked thicker than me and you was walking around. I said, you never walked around with me like that. I think I did tell you that.
Yeah.
I said, you never picked me up and walked me around the room fucking me.
See, ladies and gentlemen, see, that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we had two swaps. We had Mike Jones and his wife, and then we had Mike Jones and Tara. But when we did the swap with Mike Jones and Tara, everybody came at the same time.
That was intense.
Everybody came at the same. Ladies and gentlemen, my roadie was fucking Mike, and I was fucking Tara. They was on the bed, and I was walking around fucking Tara in the air. You know, her legs. I lift her up. You know, I hooked my arms under her legs and fucked in the air, and everybody came at the same time. It was like that energy.
What sparked it? Something must have kicked it off.
Well, you said, you probably saw what I was doing, and Mike probably saw what I was doing, and then the voyeurism while y'all were fucking.
That's probably
it was like it mixed together, and everybody came at the same time. It was like that euphoric energy spreading around the room.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, the last time we played was that cruise. You know, I ate you out. That was like the last night.
Mm-hmm. And you only ate me out because I told you I was horny. Come here.
No, well, actually, and another thing, I like when the room service. I like when
they left the elephant.
Yeah, the elephant. They listen. Room service at certain hotels and cruises, like resorts, they nice with like turning towels into animals. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was sexy as hell. I thought that was sexy as hell. So tell about going back. You know, you seeing a man reacting differently from when you played with him in contrast to him playing with another woman. Like when I saw you fuck another dude and you reacting in a way that you did not react to me, explain that time when you saw your man fuck another chick and he's reacting in a way that he did not react with you.
You mean when you were walking around the room fucking Tara?
Yeah. Well, besides me.
Wow. I was like, there's more to this pony than I've experienced all this. I think we have been fucking for a year or something. I was like, you never picked me up in a year? And we on a cruise, you walk around the room with this chick? And I mean, this woman's body was bad. Her ass, her thighs, she was thick, beautiful thick. So it wasn't that you weren't strong enough to pick me up. You just didn't give a damn. Like in my mind, I was like, he didn't care enough about me.
No. That happened. That was like the spur of the moment. We was on the couch. Well, a couple of times. No, I picked her up the second time so we could do the photo op. I picked her up the second time.
Right.
But the first time, the first time. Right. Listen, blame it on the maple cookies. The maple cookies in Canada.
Oh my God!
Yeah, the maple cookies in Canada are fire. You know what I'm saying? The maple cookies. Don't sleep on the maple cookies. Blame it on the maple cookies that I was able to pick her up. I was like skinny at the time. I was still able to pick her up and fuck her in the air. You know what I'm saying? So
your knees didn't buckle. You was walking around like bang, bang, bang. Everyone's watching you. And Mike probably was like, oh, that's what you're doing out here. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, I picked up in there and fucked it. So that was kind of like your version of seeing me fuck another chick that I didn't do to you.
One, I'm a little more mature, right? So I didn't take it as, the act of what you were doing was new, but the fact that you were getting off on it didn't bother me. You, I think, the fact that I was getting it in and getting off on it in a way that I didn't get off with you at the time probably is what did it. Because once again, you were younger and you weren't really concerned about my, benefit. You were more like, eh.
So what tips would you give a man in regards to making sure that his woman is pleasure? Or what would you want me to do? Let's put me in a situation. What would you want me to do different?
With your next female?
No, like...
If we were there again?
Yeah, if we were there again.
Learn from what you saw. Then we take it back and we try it at home. That would have put a spice in our relationship. It would have put a spice in the bedroom. And it would have put a little spin on the way you handled yourself from that point on. Instead of retreating, which is what you did, you should have went at it gung-ho. Like, oh, he going to do that? Well, I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, come back at it. Because it would have, instead of it changing our relationship to best friend, which I have no problem with, because here it is 10 years later and you are my best friend, we could have been more, right? If we had just took that next step sexually.
Yeah, so it's about sitting down with your mate and having that communication and say, look, babe, what's wrong? And it was crazy. I was immature at the time. I was like, fuck it. She's doing her thing. I'm going to do my thing. And then you was having one-on-ones with dude. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like, we had like a laissez-faire, anything goes mentality, and that fucked up our relationship. But what, like you said, what good came out of it, we were able to remain friends instead of allowing it to break our bond.
Yes, exactly.
So why do you think that we were able to keep that friendship? Because I'm not friends with any of my exes. Wow. Real talk. So
we didn't end badly.
It was just, ours was just like a misunderstanding because we weren't vetted. Well, speaking for myself, I wasn't vetted. And at the time, I really didn't have the leadership skills that I have now. I really wasn't the man that I am now. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't mature. I really wasn't a take charge type of dude. Like if I was to do it different, I would pull you. We would have a conversation first. We was like, well, what you want? What you want to do with this? What you want to do with that? And then we would sit down with other couples. We would have a round table with other experienced couples, and then they would let us know, look, yo, when this happens, When you see, don't fret, because just because she's having a good time with another dude, that doesn't mean that she's not gonna fuck with you. And a lot of dudes, because they mentally they're vanilla, but physically they're in a lifestyle, so they're thinking that just because she's getting her brains fucked out by this dude, she's not gonna want to fuck with me anymore. Or they feel like they devalue the woman because she's having sex with another man, but it's like, yo, you're in the swing lifestyle. You signed up for this.
This is something couples should know. If you think that being in a lifestyle is not going to change you, you're wrong. Because now you're inviting other people into your circle. You're sharing your energy with other people, and it does change you. You have to be prepared for that change. Because even with my ex, the one that, he stopped kissing me. Because he said, I saw you suck dick at parties. I said, but you ate pussy at parties. What's the difference? Oh, no, you saw I don't. So now we had a different relationship because we didn't have that bond that we used to have because I sucked dick at a party. So if you can't handle that, then why take me to a party?
So even that, so you will have to sit down with your mates first.
Sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes even though you go in with best laid plans, shit goes awry. Like, what if you go to a party and nobody's fucking with you? Everyone's dealing with your girl. Now you're feeling jealous. Now you're feeling left out. Or you're enjoying some chick too much and you're in a threesome and your girl don't feel like she's getting her share of the threesome, which happens. Now you guys are off. The chemistry is off. The thing about that to me with threesomes is you got to treat them both fairly.
But how would you rectify that if you feel like that, okay, y'all didn't plan on, y'all thought y'all was mentally equipped to handle the lifestyle, but in reality, y'all not. Well, you can't predict what's going to happen.
Yeah,
so how would you
talk about it afterwards? Say how you felt about it, and then you guys discuss, okay, well, how can I handle that differently, or how can you handle this differently, or is this for us? It looks like fun, but is this for us as a couple? You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to come to the hard, true fact that sometimes it's not for you. It's not for you guys as a couple. Or fall back, establish yourself as a couple, and then go to lifestyle parties, which is, I think, what we should have did.
I think that, that's another lesson well learned. We should have done more vanilla activities. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I was so gung-ho.
We went out on dates and stuff and ended up fucking in my truck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we went, our first date was at the Fat Black Pussycat on West 4th Street. In the Village. And Fat Black Pussycat in the Village is across the street from the Blue Note. Mm-hmm. And we fucked in her SUV that she no longer has. She traded it in for a Lexus. Yes, it was indigo. It was teal.
It was blue, indigo blue.
Yeah, it was indigo blue. So, I knew she was about that life when we toasted.
And that was really good in the truck that time.
Yeah, and it was, we fucked, it's crazy. Before the lifestyle, we fucked a lot of times. And then when we got in the lifestyle, it was like, it changed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, we was fucking like rabbits. And then used to like purr, ladies and gentlemen. She used to purr.
I still do purr when it's good.
Yeah,
I didn't purr for him. Did I?
I don't know.
See? You would have heard me.
Ladies and gentlemen, when the dick is good, she purrs. That's why her name is Cat. She purrs.
I can't help it.
She purrs when the dick is good. It comes from the gut. We went to the Fat Black Pussycat. It's a lounge in Manhattan. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Village. It's in the West Village. And the food is on point. The liquor's on point. The food is on point. Go to the Fat Black Pussycat in the Village. Mm-hmm. It's across the street from the Blue Note. Anyway, they should give me money for advertising their shit. But anyway, you parked on one of the side streets and we fucked in your back seat.
And the cops rolled by.
Yes, we did an LL. We had an Ep in the back seat of the Jeep. An episode. What happened was somebody must have ratted us out. Somebody must have snitched because the van was rocking. The SUV was rocking.
And I had tinted windows.
And she had, that what saved us. Mm-hmm. Because if the police would have, we saw the policeman looking inside the cars and they looked in the SUV, but because you had tents, the guy did not see us. Mm-hmm. So if the guy would have seen us, we would have had a ticket. Not only that, we could have had a sex registry. Mm-hmm. We would have been sex offenders because if you get caught fucking in public, you're a sex offender.
I never knew that.
Yes, if you get caught fucking in public, you have to register as a sex offender.
Wow.
Yeah, so we could have. So them tents saved us. Wow. Because he looked dead in the car. Ladies and gentlemen, the police looked in the car.
But he did a drive-by. He never got out and looked, so he couldn't have had a full view. right?
No, he got out. He didn't. He was looking
I thought he
at.
was driving
No, he
out.
was going up and down the street, and then when we saw him go on the other side, that's when we got out, put our shit on, hop back in the SUV, and then you dropped me off so I could take the BD train to go back to where I needed to go, and then you went back to Jersey. But yeah, like them tents saved us, because if he would have called us. Somebody told us, or the cameras caught it, because that's a camera on every block in fucking Manhattan and New York.
Seen in the car, the camera wasn't the scene. Somebody told.
Somebody
We had the
told.
window tinted so we could breathe. So I know they heard you moaning, me moaning, just the car rocking. I know they knew because we was getting it in that day.
Yeah, we. Yeah, I had to get out ass naked and put on my fucking clothes. You know what I'm saying? So it was so.
How did that start? I think I said some shit to you in the black fat.
Well, we did a toast, and you was like, I knew she was about that life when she was like, let's toast to, and you was like, good sex. And then we toast, we ate. You know, I love they chicken fingers and they fucking mozzarella sticks and they wings. And then afterwards, I don't know what the fuck happened. I was kind of buzzed from the fucking Long Island Iced Tea, and we went to your SUV, and we got it in. We got a back seat. We got a LL on
Now,
back
here's
seat
the
in the
funny
Jeep.
part. That happened before we joined the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So if we had that kind of chemistry in the back of my truck, why would you seeing me get the stinky leg from this dude bother you?
But you got to remember, I wasn't ready for that. First of all, I was immature, and second of all, I wasn't ready to see. I didn't take into account that my woman is going to enjoy another dick other than mine. So I didn't put that into the equation. And then when I actually see it, it's like, damn, what the fuck? It's like I wasn't ready.
Yeah. All I heard was, damn. He doing the stinky leg, and I think him and I both started laughing.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that, but yeah, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you got to really know if you're about that life.
You gotta know yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta be confident in yourself. If you're confident in yourself, he could do the stinky leg, whatever he want to do. You know, I'm gonna tear her ass up some other way when we get home. But at the time, you were kind of like, I don't know. He killing it, and he just
and not only that. You have to enjoy seeing your mate getting fucked by another person.
That's it. That right there. Yes. If you're not a voyeur, I'm an exhibitionist. I like being watched. So you watching me didn't bother me. But the fact that you didn't enjoy me enjoying myself is what set a difference.
Yeah, not only you have to stomach the idea of your mate getting fucked by another person, you have to enjoy it. Damn, man, you gotta like damn near get an orgasm.
And then take him home and finish the job.
Yeah.
We didn't finish the job. The job was finished there.
You know, or sometimes you probably don't want to fuck your mate by the end of the night, and you want somebody else to do the job because you've been doing so much fucking that you don't even have energy for your mate. You know what I'm saying?
This is true. And then I think you're high sexed. You were younger than me then. So you running through all the women did me a favor. I was like, I ain't gonna get killed when I get back to this place.
Yeah, I'm different now. Like I'm just good with one nut, and I'm good. I'm not. Yeah, I'm like that. I went from a cub to that wise lion who watched on a hill, who watched all the other animals on the prairie. I'm like the wise lion on a mountain who see all the other animals on the prairie getting it in. So I'm veteran status, you know. So I'm 10 years in the game. I'm a vet.
And you have the gift for gab now. I noticed the way you talk to people. You're more personable. Then you were just like, you want fuck? Hey, we here. You want fuck?
Yeah,
you were just so raw, rough around the edges at first.
I was young, like I was thinking nobody told me, and luckily I had dudes who pulled me to the side and who will correct my errors. You know what I'm saying?
Like, not only were you upset because people didn't want to play with you, but you walk around, you don't want to play with me. People don't want to play with me. And I'm playing with people having a good time, and you like, and you used to voice your disconcern instead of being mature enough to just swallow that L.
Yeah, I had to learn that, but that comes with maturity because I had to, learn, you have to be there for your woman and not for yourself. I was there for myself.
I agree.
So if you're not getting it in, if your woman get it in, you should be happy for your woman or be happy for your mate. You know what I'm saying?
What I used to love about my ex is he would see me playing and he would just put his hand on me, let me know I'm here. You know what I mean? He would watch for my safety. He would, if he sees I'm not enjoying myself, he'll do something sexually to me to help me get that orgasm. You know what I mean? He would assist.
I remember we had New Year's Eve at the mansion. We needed to go, and then he was like, "Yo, we gotta go. We gotta." He wasn't cop blocking, right. But he was like, "Yo, we gotta go." And then that's when you had to know. yo, we got to wrap this up.
Right.
So we got to go, and we have to leave. So it was like you need a man who's proactive and who's always around you.
Always.
Me personally, I didn't give a fuck.
You
Okay.
in one corner, I'd be
Yeah, I was like, yo, I'm like a fucking kid in the candy store. But it's like when a lot of people have this misconception about the lifestyle. It's all about fucking, but you need a conversation with people. And I was like, yo, who's fucking? Y'all not fucking? Why nobody's fucking? It's like I was like, why nobody's fucking? But I was immature and I wasn't wise enough to know that everybody move at their own pace. Just because I want to fuck, that doesn't mean the other person want to fuck,
And you were visually stimulated, right? So you see ass puss and you get hard. A lot of us need more than that. We're not just visual. We need some kind of connection that you probably at the time didn't realize that's what we need. Because the guy wasn't even that great looking. I don't know if you remember. He had an awesome body because he was in the military, but he wasn't that great looking. But he talked to me. He had the gift for gab. And before I knew it, it was on and popping. And I guess because he finally got it, he was like, I'm going to prove why I'm in it. And he proved why he was in it for a few months.
and then we went to Hito. And then we started doing our thing at Hito.
But you would disappear. Did we ever play in the same room? Oh, I used to take his girls. Hey, y'all, I used to take his girls.
Yeah, she's listen, Rhodey used to take all my women. She would take all my women. You know what I'm saying? She was like
shy girl.
Yeah, she played shy girl. Shy girl is when a chick plays shy, and then people get intrigued by the mystique, and then they won't want to talk to her and deal with her. She would take all my women, ladies and gentlemen.
Take them.
She would take them.
They would take me. Remember, I was shy girl. They would take me.
Well, technically, you would still take them because you could say no. You could say, nah, fuck my roadie first. Fuck my man first. But you would take all
They fuck you first, all of them. I never took someone before you got them.
Yeah, that is true.
The doctor who's married now. The bald-headed doctor.
Yeah.
She fucked you on the beach. And then came back to the room and it was a wrap.
Yeah, I came on her face in a blowjob cave at Hito. Yeah, we fucked in front of everybody at the nude pool at Hedonism 2, and then we went to the cave.
That's called the cum cave?
The blowjob, it's really a grotto. They call it a grotto. The proper word is a grotto. But at Hedonism 2, they called it the blowjob cave.
I never knew that's what they called it.
Yeah, so I like nutted on her face, and then better than mascara. Ow.
I nutted on her face too. Ow.
Yeah, but they got it. And then the last time we went to Hito, it was Genuine performed, and then you play with the big booty chick. You play with San Diego.
Big booty.
Kiki.
Oh yes, yeah. Everybody was after her.
Yeah, and then you play with
crazy.
And you play with you play with dude from Dave too. You play with Dave too.
Yeah, he brought a bucket of ice. We did some bangs with the ice.
Yeah,
But he got this one chick I wanted. Light skinned chick.
Miss Peaches.
I wanted her so bad. And she flirted with me. She's like, she was like, but Wavy is your roommate. And I played with Wavy. I was so mad. I wanted her so bad. You know who I'm talking about? She was in here short now. She had freckles, light skin.
Oh, Miss Freckles. Miss Freckles.
I don't remember her name.
She's from Philadelphia.
Yes. I went to see her. We talked on the phone. We flirted. She never gave me nothing.
I thought y'all played.
Never gave me nothing. I don't know why. She just never gave me
nothing. Wow, you took it back. I forgot all about Shorty.
Yeah, she was beautiful. Oh my God, her body. Oh, I wanted her so bad. And another reason why is because when I was playing with Kiki, she walked in on us. That was her roommate.
Wow.
So she was like, you play with my roommate. I play with your roommate. And I guess that bothered her. Girl, come here. We lifestylers. It's okay. Come here.
So you got 10 years in a game. From the time you got into the lifestyle with me to now, what are the few things that you learned that you could pass on to newbies? The jewels that you learned, whether the mistakes or the lessons that you picked up along the way, whether it is you getting into relationships and it didn't work out, to you finding what works for you. What advice would you give to newbies?
For one, know who you are before you get into the lifestyle. I knew I was an exhibitionist and a voyeur and a freak. So all of it was right up my alley. 2, know who you're dealing with. If they are secure in their spot, if they can handle seeing you with other people, and what boundaries they do have. Some people don't want you kissing people. Some people feel funny about someone nutting in your face. There's rules, there's boundaries. You got to ask your partner, will you be comfortable with somebody nutting in my face? Because it's a possibility. Would you be comfortable with me sexing 3 people at the same time? Would you be comfortable watching me have a train, all these men running up in me? Because these are things that can happen at a party. And some men will be like, what? 5 men? So y'all got to know your boundaries. You got to take your home first. Never bring your man there thirsty. Right? So if we had a good week, you had all your sexual appetite filled, you're here for another reason. You're here because you want variety. You want spice of life. You're not here because you're hungry. So if you ain't feeding your man, you bring him to the lifestyle, somebody going to feed him. So that, you take care of your man. And that goes for the women as well. Sometimes men think paying the bills, coming home every night is enough. It's not enough. Sometimes women need more. So you need to know that your woman is satisfied sexually. Are you giving her attention? Because Lord knows when we put on the right outfit, we getting attention that night. Give your woman attention. There's so many things you got to take care of before you go to a party. Once your relationship is established, then go to the party. Those are my suggestions.
You have to build a foundation. You got to
Absolutely.
you got to do vanilla things before you jump into the lifestyle. You need to build a solid foundation, because if it's on quicksand, then everything is going to crumble. You need to build a foundation and then work from the ground up. You have room. The biggest room is improvement. You can have room for improvement once you have that solid foundation. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the basis of the lifestyle. What swinger is about couples who are secure in their stance, experimenting sexually with other people. We singles come in it and we see this all a free for all. I can get as much dick, get as much pussy as I want. But you're losing the whole idea of sharing this experience with someone you care about. And a lot of people don't have that foundation, like you said, to build off of. They're not intimidated by everybody. And then they're doing behind the scenes, double-handed. Here's another thing. If your woman is bringing you to a party to get pussy, why do you still need to sneak and get it? That means it's something with you that you need to look into. Because you shouldn't have to be in a relationship if you got to sneak and do it. And then vice versa, women do it too. You know?
So why do you think people sneak sex?
I think some people like the sneakiness of it.
It's like the taboo of getting caught, the thrill of getting caught.
I agree. And I think that, I'm not going to lie to you. If I had known you had a problem with me getting done thoroughly, I wouldn't have reacted to him. And I wouldn't have enjoyed it because I'd have been holding back worrying about what you thought. So that's why people sneak. You have to let your partner be your partner. Let them enjoy themselves in front of you so they don't have to sneak, because the option is, I ain't gonna really get into it now, but here's my number. We could do a one-on-one, and now I'm swinging from the rafters. Let me swing from the rafters with you there. That's the difference that people don't understand, and that sneakiness can ruin a relationship.
And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Son Baby. Check out my website at www.notsonblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com. And check out my ebook, Fuck. Yes, you heard right. That's F-U-C-K, Fuck. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. It'll make you say, ow. And shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me with any questions or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, me, comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace. And don't kiss them hoes in the mouth, baby.